Hi, everyone. I'm Denè Jones, your local representative for Global Financial Partners, the one-stop shop for all your funding needs. I'm excited to connect with you today and pleased to always support the incredible work you all do in the personal injury space. I'm also proud to share that Global Financial Partners sponsors PI Today podcast, helping bring valuable insights and medical education to our community. And don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, and share this episode. See you all next time. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to PI Today podcast. I'm your host, Denè Jones. And today we have someone that is not a stranger to PI Today podcast, Jeremy Tissot with the Tissot Law Firm. Jeremy, welcome back.
Thanks so much. So Denè and I have known each other for a really long time. We're just talking about that. And we're going to talk a little bit about TBI Times today, which is something I'm really excited about. You could just see from the quality of this magazine. I was really impressed when it came out at the TBI Med Legal Conference originally, and then had a chance to finally read through it in some detail today. So it's going to be coming out regularly, but there is a little article in here about me, and there was also one, so it's featured at the TBI Med Legal Conference, and I think the first one was a couple of years ago, and they were kind enough to spend a lot of time interviewing me and talking about not just, the cases that you've won or so awards and things, but kind of do like a deep dive on, what you've been through in life and what your philosophies are and what kind of makes you tick, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty interesting because we hear a lot of the same stuff, and we kind of want to humanize not only our clients, but they want to know that we're real people too, and that we can connect with people. So I thought that what TBI Times did the first time, and then
look at this ad.
oh, not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
The quality of the work on this publication, if you're interested, and there'll be another edition coming out, for purposes of advertising or just familiarizing yourself. I was really impressed with the articles because all I do as a TBI specialist or concentrating my practice in TBI cases is I'm reading a lot, trying to find things that are interesting, new topics, and I find that TBI Times doing a really good job of that. Sometimes you'll look at some of these publications in our industry and they're just not relevant to what we're doing. But not only is it really well put together, but there's real articles in it. And
well, I think the main thing that TBI Times wanted to kind of be obviously like a luxury magazine, right?
Totally.
Like a coffee table, like you go to like a fine establishment and you see some of their luxury magazines. So that's the impression that they wanted to be. And like you said, a lot of the publications that we have in our industry, it's the same people with the same stats that they always want to showcase, right?
Right.
And there's no like in-depth information, whether it's about a new treatment that's out there or something scientific. And I think that's what TBI Times really have nailed in the concept of bringing to the table for our industry. And I think your article, like you said, it's a deep dive to who you are, because who you are translates into the courtroom.
Totally. And also just connecting with people, being real, talking about my life experiences, kind of what makes me tick to be able to help people. Because one of the things that keeps me going is not just the flow of money in cases at all. What's kept me going and sort of a reinvention of myself is to be able to really connect with people on a deep level about how they're suffering, how their life has changed, what particular methodologies or treatments or rehabilitation could help them, because there isn't a one size fits all, right? So we see a lot of things out there, and so I need to really spend time with people, and I think it helps because I do find myself a lot of times I am sometimes up there putting up, okay, well, I got this result, or I'm here speaking here, but I think it's important for me to talk more about who I am as a person and why I care and why they should care and want to work with me. and why I can get good results for people. And I think the other thing I think that's interesting is the death of the magazine, supposedly. I love in person. So as much as I like the opportunity that we can do remote depositions, we can sign clients up, whenever I always say to the client, when other lawyers bring me a client where I haven't met them and I'm co-counseling, I say, I'm going to have to get to meet this person at some point. And no, phone's not going to be adequate. And Zoom may not be adequate. So, we talk about going to their home, but even, like one client said to me recently, I have a newborn child, it's not going to work for me to come there. So I'll meet them someplace. And it's the same way as this, like someone comes in the office, I kind of think tactile still. I just think this is beautiful. And if you look around my office, we're about making people feel comfortable, kind of having that sense of come in the office, right? So not just, hey, let's do a Zoom and a phone call, but if you're in the area, make an appointment, come by, let's talk about your case. And there you have it right here. You open up page 13.
There you are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a very personable, individual in and of itself. You're no stranger to our industry, whether in the conference, you've been a speaker, a moderator, an ambassador. I think that with other than just TBI Med Legal, any conference, there's Jeremy Tissot. It's like, put me in, coach. And I think that's a great testament to who you are, and I'm sure it translates into your clients as well.
Yeah, I thank you for saying that. I just want to, obviously the connection here is official magazine of TBI Med Legal. And I'm very thankful to this amazing platform that your company has been so heavily involved in, and that I just appreciate so much, because we go back even just, when you're constantly trying to do better and not sitting on your laurels. If you go back to 2020, when we had COVID and life changed, and it changed forever in the industry in terms of how we met people, how we connected with people, how we do business. And a lot of people just don't, for instance, suit up anymore. I'm not a fan of that. A lot of people don't get off their couch. I agree that remote work can be good, but we really like the in-person connection. And I'm so grateful for TBI Med Legal. It's an absolute game-changing platform. And what came out of it was this amazing magazine. Whether or not you like Elon Musk or not, there are some great people inside.
Escalated quite quickly.
Yeah. And so this is not political, and I'm not endorsing anyone, but just look at some of the articles that are in here. And I'm constantly reading this type of stuff because, as you know, what kind of keeps me going, love to be in the courtroom, love to work with my team here. Several members are here with us. But I really like giving back in terms of mentoring and education. I don't expect much. So sometimes I am asked to just, like you said, just come in the room and maybe, off the cuff, just get on the stage and try to help out. So it's not always ideal. Other times I've done, I think, TBI Med Legal probably at least 10 to 12 online presentations of my own. And they've been kind enough to ask me back, and I think every year for the last 4 or 5 years.
But you enjoy it, and I think you make it a very enjoyable moment for others.
Yeah, I try to make it so it's fresh and new all the time. And so I'm not saying everyone does this, but we don't recycle our presentations. We try to make them, sometimes we can bring people into the discussion. Other times we really want to give content. So what I don't do is I don't go up there and put too many PowerPoints up there, but I try to have a platform where people can also take away something, so it's not repetitive. And I'm always looking for new angles, not just on TBI. Some of the things that your company does are very highly innovative, but also on tactics for litigation, how things are changing. I mean, there's even issues about depositions remotely, how you present those, how you can present those at trial. I have, for instance, totally different ideas from other people sometimes. Sometimes they're controversial.
It isn't so.
Say it. Yeah, so you know me well enough to know that some of the things I say, I think I speak out, and I think I speak the truth, but a lot of times, it does shake things up, and I like to be able to do that. I'm also respectful, though, of the opportunities I have. Without the sponsors, without the people that put these things together, it's so darn hard. I can tell you, being involved in some capacities with education committee at TBI Med Legal. I know what these people did to put this magazine together because I saw that coming together just from getting calls and follow up on both an advertisement and a feature article I have. And I was amazed with the quality, and they took the time to get to know me too. They said, we're gonna really interview you. We're not just gonna go to your social media. You know what I mean by that? Like just kind of like you see people do the superficial, oh, I'll just pick this up from like your bio someplace, right? What do you,
as it should be.
Yeah, and it's kind of, they ask me, well, what do you want people to know about you that's a little bit outside of just your casework and your law firm and promotional things? So I talk about, the charity work I've done with Los Angeles Trial Lawyers Charities. I talk about...
Which you're on the board of, correct?
Right, I'm on the board, and that's an important organization. It's changed my life a lot because I didn't really have something where I was repetitively kind of giving back, and so I'll be the president-elect of that next year on the executive board. Yeah, so I've been fortunate
That's exciting.
And that's sort of profiled here, I think, and in the other article. There was if you haven't seen this is a 2025 edition, great content. And if you're interested in copies, I'm pretty sure, Denè, that you can arrange that. How do people get the magazine? How do they, how can they get
it? It was featured obviously at the conference. People were picking it up there.
Yeah.
After the conference, they were just contacting, they could contact through the podcast. They were contacting it through the conference itself. They can slide into the DMs through any of the platforms that we offer, and we can hand deliver it to their office. It was mailed out, I believe, to a lot of the law firms. But if you didn't get a copy, again, just slide into a DM, shoot a text, email, and it will be hand delivered to your office.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing, is that there was coming together the article, and then all of a sudden there's like stacks and stacks at the conference. And I know they did an amazing job to get them out to the community. I saw them at a number of events.
That's a really great point.
Yeah.
Because too, it's also why the articles are very important, and I think it's a great opportunity for attorneys and doctors to advertise in it, because it is a resource to the community, whether it's going to a hospital or a doctor's office. But we have a hotline where TBI patients call in for resources, and this magazine is also sent to them for resources every day. So
That's
a lot
amazing.
of time, your contact information could be the lifeline that they're looking for. And also, if it's looking for rehab or financial support, they have the links here. So it's a great avenue for advertisement to the community that's needing TBI rehab. So
yeah, and I think that's really important. There's some legal practitioners in there, some articles, and like myself, and then there's also just all across the board about treatment, rehabilitation, innovation, technology, really high quality articles. But I forgot about what you were mentioning about how this is going out not just to law firms or to, say, some of the doctors that we may work with, but like broadly to the community, right? In the care of TBI, or wherever you may find people who are potentially injured or getting rehabilitation. We don't sometimes know. We don't know. A lot of things come to me a lot where we don't even know if that person has a TBI, or a case will come to me from another lawyer, and I literally will spot a mild, so-called mild traumatic brain injury within that case. In the same way, you have this sitting someplace, or you're conveying it to someone, right? I think you
and even some of the therapies can go over to PTSD cases and concussion cases. So it doesn't have to be a TBI or an MTBI case. It can go to smaller cases of PTSD and concussion cases.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, because a lot of times people just tend to focus on this one aspect of the quote MTBI. It's such a buzzword, but there's all these other symptoms, and I see them in my case, and what we'll often do is focus on one of the symptoms of the head injury that is significant for that client. And a lot of times the defense is like, well, he's got an MTBI, everyone's got one. And that's one of the problems we do have in the industry, is that not every case is a TBI or needs to be one. There's a certain credibility and reputation that I hope that certainly your company and the people that we work with bring to the table collectively. And I hope my firm does. My reputation and my credibility in terms of the way I'm presenting demands and cases is so important. So sometimes we don't we don't need the whole gamut of, it's not a severe TBI, but we may have like tinnitus, we may have visual issues, and you've got, you know who those people are to go to. Some of that's discussed here. Also, is there a digital edition of this, or how does that work, or what
There
that will
is.
be?
So you can request it in the same type of manner. Text us, email us, slide into the DMs, and you can get the digital copy as well.
Yeah, and if you're interested in learning more just about TBI Times, you can talk to Denè or me, or just talk to me about how this may be useful in your office. Also about just generally TBI cases, TBI Med Legal, some of the things I've taught that are discussed here.
TBI Titan for a reason. We're going to link his law firm contact information down below. So if you have a case that you want to maybe collaborate on, refer to him for trial, just help work up a value. He is always available. He's very obviously friendly, and he's very approachable, and he gets great results on his cases. So we'll link him down below, reach out to his staff, and he's available.
Thanks so much, Denè. This has been great talking to you, and I look forward to helping anyone and continuing to work with you on this great publication and TBI Med Legal in the community generally.
Thank you, Jeremy.